much appreciated. Yeah, super excited to be here. Today, you're going to get to see the latest version of Infor CRM now with built-in AI features. So that's all going to be live. Again, I am Brian Marks, SyteLine VP of Sales and Marketing. Thanks once again to ESS for having us today. We really, really appreciate it. Just like before, for those of you that are new, we're going to give you a little overview about Infor CRM and its brief history. We're going to have a few slide decks in the beginning before we actually get into the live demo. And so part of those slide decks, I'm going to show you a couple of our very popular add-ons. We have a card scan add-on for Infor CRM and a dealer portal. Again, we're going to go through a full demo. We're going to show you live how the AI works. We're going to show you how the integration works with your ERP, or testimonial, and questions. So first of all, who are we? So we are SyteLine. We have been Infor's top CRM partner for multiple years. Our average employee tenure is actually 10 years. So our team is very well versed in this CRM. We know it inside and out. We've been working with it for over 25 years now, as well as some other things like BI tools and marketing automation. We have a full sales support, training, project management team. So we handle everything for you, implementation, the training, we go to you on site. Again, nothing is really done by Infor per se. They're all really behind the scenes. It's just going to be a server really with them. Again, we support you, we train you, we'll make sure you're well taken care of. And we work with you and we bring you our knowledge and experience. But again, you're also going to be a part of that initial planning session and scope. We also lead all the CRM partners because we're always bringing in new things for the CRM. Some of those add-ons that you'll see today are great examples of that. And a big range of customers, but our big focus is on manufacturing and distribution. The majority of them have an Infor ERP as well. And of that, our biggest base have SyteLine or CSIs. So again, that's really been our main focus now for many, many years. Some of these names you may recognize, and again, the majority of these as well also have an Infor ERP. So real quick, if anybody's ever used or heard of SalesLogix, that's actually where Infor CRM came from. So in 2014, Infor purchased SalesLogix, and it became Infor CRM. They improved it, they rebranded it. They actually heard about us from SalesLogix and hired us, meaning Infor hired us to actually set up the CRM for them out of their New York office. And so that's how much faith they had from our name recognition with this CRM. So what can you expect from it? Well, you're now going to have one place where you're going to be able to get all the information you need, support information, marketing, sales, service, everything basically now will be in one spot for everybody to see on any device, anywhere, anytime. You're going to get full mobile capabilities. We are also device agnostic. We actually use HTML5 to run our mobile version of our system. And you're also going to be able to see ERP data now on your phone, as well as, of course, all of your CRM data. And you're going to see that live today as well. Full flexibility, your users can set the CRM to look and feel the way they want it. They can change navigations, they can turn things on and off, they can change colors. Again, there's a lot they can do for the system, so it works best for them versus them having to learn how to use the system. Your admins can configure a ton of things, and then of course, full code changes is usually where we come into play. Pricing, there is no tier to deal with. So again, no tiers. Any of you who have used Salesforce or any of our competitors understand exactly what I'm talking about. It can be difficult to say the least, having to not only pick your correct tier, but if something else you need isn't part of that tier, then you have an additional cost that keeps adding up. No tiers within Infor CRM. All the core sections are included, plus an unlimited use API for connections, plural. Again, many of our competitors are going to charge you for that. They're also going to throttle your data. Again, with Infor CRM, none of those games are played. This is, again, something you're going to see today live, and it's a huge reason why Infor CRM should be the only CRM you should be considering. This CRM comes with bi-directional real-time integration with your ERP, whether you're SyteLine on-prem, whether you're CSI in the cloud, visual, all of those have real-time bi-directional capabilities right out of the box, ready to go. And typically we do it through Ion, and Ion is provided for free. So again, if you go to Salesforce, you're going to pay extra to use one of their third-party connectors to make that integration happen, and it won't be as robust or as complete as what you'll get with Infor CRM. So again, this is a huge, huge reason why you definitely want to make sure this is on the top of your list. Even if you're a Salesforce customer now and you're considering potentially not sticking with them, we have many former customers of that system. It's very easy for us to get that data also transferred over into Infor CRM. So again, this integration is a huge advantage for you because not only is that connector free with your ERP, it's supported by Infor. So you keep everything in the Infor family. So when the next version of SyteLine comes out, you don't have to worry about any issues also with that connector. How does it all work behind the scenes? Well, basically, again, as I mentioned before, Ion is sort of the secret sauce that is going to make everything talk to each other. CRM, ERP, if you use CPQ, again, Burst, again, anything else, all of those connection points can now flow right through Ion. So what are some of the biggest reasons why you want to choose Infor CRM? First of all, if you are a SyteLine CSI customer, just to be 100% clear, there is a CRM module in that ERP. This is not that. So if you thought you were joining today to learn about that module, this would not cover that module, and this is way past the limited features you get in that module. So hopefully you're still going to be excited about what you're going to learn. Huge ROI for CRM in general, almost $9 per every dollar you're spent. We're also on average 40% less than any Salesforce quote you're going to get. Right in our CRM, you can create accounts from the ship-tos that come right in from the ERP. So you can have accounts where you actually sell to people who are buying your products. Again, that gives a first layer of easy adoption because we make it easy for your teams to create their accounts from ERP. The integration, which we just went through Ion, no cost connector, again, makes that adoption much easier because we're bringing all that ERP data right into the CRM that matters to your team. Full tickets, customer resolution issues with workflows and integration right into your email system and Outlook, which you're going to see live today. Again, makes adoption that much simpler. Full Outlook email calendar integration. That's, of course, again, part of what I was saying previously. You're going to see that live. Again, improves upon, it makes that adoption fast. All the CRM data that you need is also going to be found right inside Outlook. Full email marketing campaign, automations, alerts, notifications, full robust sales pipeline and forecasting, user-definable workflows with alerts and notifications. Again, we make the adoption process as painless as possible because we make the CRM work for you, and it's proactive, not just reactive. Single source for all your data, plus full AI, which you can see live today on your phone, on your browser, laptop, desktop, no matter what. And again, no sales tiers. You don't have to worry about it. If you miss something, you got to sign another contract. All the core features that you're going to see today are included. Anytime they're an add-on, I will tell you that it's an add-on. This is all included. You're going to see this live in just a few more minutes. Version 10, that again just came out. So it was obviously after our initial webinar. You're going to see how it can now analyze your accounts, provide you an assistant. Again, ton of great things to improve upon your ability to work your customer accounts. This is one of our first add-ons. I want to show it today briefly. We have a card scan add-on for Infor CRM. This literally allows you now to scan any business card. And you're going to log into the app. You're going to choose to capture this image. You're going to say, okay, I want to get that image. Say I want to take a picture. Here's literally a business card of mine. Take the photo, extract the data, review the data, make sure everything is as it should be, choose any additional drop-downs, lead priorities, interested in, comments, lead source. Again, all of these additional options are all built into our Infor CRM SLX card scan add-ons. Once you have it set the way you want it, save it, literally save it, goes right into CRM. Again, no entry at all from that card. And now that record is right here in this sort of gray highlighted row. And now it's right in the system, ready to be acted upon and used for obviously for future follow-ups, marketing, for sales, again, whatever that might be. So that simple, that easy to use, unlimited users. So again, it doesn't matter how many employees at your company needs to use the add-on. We don't have anything priced based on number of users. And then once it's in the system, as you're going to see live today, we have a whole lead history section. And that also allows you to monitor the life of those leads. So you can see when it converts to an opportunity, accounts, again, when there's an order, what the dollar amounts are, all of that, you'll be able to see in the system, which I'm going to show you live in just a couple minutes. For those of you who sell through distributors or dealers, we have our own portal. Again, this is an add-on because Infor CRM SLX doesn't directly offer one. So we have set one up. It is based on, though, a CRM license. So that is what provides you not only the security for it, but also the roles and permissions so that the login only shows the information that, of course, that dealer should see. And so how does it look? Well, here you go. So when they log in, they're going to be able to see the accounts that obviously are connected to their user, the associated contacts, any potential tickets. They can also create their own tickets. If you provide leads to your dealers or your distributors, they'll be able to see their leads. They can then see ERP sales orders and quotes, invoices, shipments, a whole knowledge base of things that they can look up, a library of files that you can share with them that you want them to be able to use from a training standpoint, from a marketing standpoint, whatever that might be, completely up to you. Each of our portals is slightly personalized based on, of course, what you need them to see or not see. But this is the starting point. And again, this is something that's super powerful because it allows you to give them that 24/7, 365 access to the accounts that they work. And you get to also have visibility much faster into what's going on with them without the standard email follow-ups or calls or just regular meetings. Not that those things have to go away, but again, now you have one place where you can see everything that's going on with your dealers, distributors. All right, let's go to my live system. So here's Infor CRM. I'm going to call it Infor CRM really for the most part moving forward. It is technically SLX at the end, but this is just a much shorter way to say it. First thing I want to note quickly, I am logged in as administrator. You'll see it right down here. So that means I can see everything. So there are many things that the regular users would not see. Things like administration, right? Clearly they're not going to want to use those. Developer tools. So again, there's a lot of pieces here that are just sort of extraneous right now, but are just makes it faster for me to show you the system overall. So what's it like? Let's say you have a salesperson who's going to use the system. So let's kind of go down that path a bit, and we're going to sort of then do the same thing for customer service, management again. So you have a dashboard, and everybody's dashboard can be unique to them, and they can move things around. They can add, we call these widgets. They can take them out. They can put more in. Again, you create your dashboards the way you want to see them. What's even better about them is they're all also interactive. So here's Barb, and I can see in blue, these are what she's forecasted to close this month. Well, what exactly is that? I can literally click it and I can jump right to it. So whether this is a dealer, this is an inside salesperson, a rep of any type, again, if they have access to CRM, all of that information now, you're going to easily be able to see where people within the sales funnel, right? How is the revenue between individual users of the system? Where does it come from? How has it been tabulated? Again, I can jump to any of these hyperlinks and get a deep dive. Who has back orders, right? How are we doing, state by state? How are our sales goals? Whatever the things are that you care about, you can add them and put them right into your dashboards. Again, who has open quotes? And of course, again, what are those open quotes? Again, I can dive deeper into that. And again, closing current month, next month, but even better, I have my whole opportunity forecast dashboard already pre-created. And again, we can set these up for your team. We would train you how to do them yourself. But then again, I can now see all my different ranges, right? And what those are and who has what. So again, I just find the one that I need to dive deeper into, and I can go right into those and find out more information. So it's that easy now to keep track of the whole team, your whole company within seconds without pulling reports from SyteLine or again having to look the data up. If I'm in customer service, again, I can have things that of course aren't focused heavily on sales, but clearly are angled more towards what I'm doing. I'm supporting the sales team, right? So, who has the most tickets and, what are those tickets? So again, who are the customers? I can dive right into those tickets and see exactly what's going on. I can see what the general areas are and statuses. So if I know we've been having issues with, this particular company and I'm seeing more high urgency tickets, there's still an issue there that's not being resolved quickly enough. I might need to get involved. Defects, right? Manufacturers clearly on this call. So what if we're keeping track of those defects, right? And what are they? So I can see all these various areas that we can be covering. Ages of tickets, returns, right? Do you process returns? And how many are those? And what have those been? We can see the various levels of statuses, all the different ticket areas, that we deal with, right? Whatever matters to you is what those areas would be. Again, these are just examples, but any of them that you need to check further into, you literally now can just dive right into it, immediately jump on it. The individual breakdown. And then of course, here's the whole group, right? Here's our distribution. Accounting team, individual people, customer service team, again, quality team, whatever it is, however you break them up, and what they're working on. Overdue tickets, right? So these are ones that we should have closed, but something happened, right? They didn't get closed. Just I want to see everything that's open. So again, this gives you just a good feel and understanding of the capabilities and the options that you have, because again, your user can create your tickets the way you want to see it. And that's ultimately how you set all of this up and make this work best for you. That being said, that's been a whirlwind of information for the, quickly. I want to take a quick pause and check with Colin. Does anybody have any questions already for me?
And currently we don't have any questions, Brian.
So let's jump into the core system. So Infor CRM has what we call accounts and contacts. Those work in tandem. They have leads. Leads are separate. So lead is technically an unqualified prospect, where accounts and contacts are going to be your customers, your vendors, your partners, anybody ultimately that you're really doing business with, or potentially also qualified prospects. We're also going to go into opportunities and quotes and sales orders and all of that today. And again, those all work together, as you're going to see as I pull up individual accounts. So here's the first nice thing. You're going to see I have some KPIs. So as I pull up my accounts, I instantly get KPI windows. If I switch to my Australian customer base, all those KPIs change. So instantly now, I already know, hey, what's going on in this world? Whoa, well, what if I'm just going to look at Chicago and see what's going on with there? Hey, what do we got in Chicago? Oh, okay, we got this stuff. What tickets do we have? What are our numbers? Also, if I look down at this is what we call a list view of data, I can also see all of these column headers. So I can see open op totals, one op totals, sales year to date, sales last year to date, sales for the whole year. Again, I can get a quick view, multiple ways of what these customers are doing just by literally looking at my data, not pulling up any reports. I don't have to even go to my dashboards if I don't want to. I can still get those summaries right here. If I want to instantly see customers that purchase certain products, I can jump right to those. If I want to see the customers that are owned by my dealers, right, and see what's going on with them, instantly now I have that window and I know what's going on. I have to email them and ask them and keep calling and checking on things. If I have certain types of customers with a certain status like gold, tier one, customers that are certain, maintenance only, where I'm just supporting them after I've already sold something to them from a manufacturing standpoint. All of these groups are set up by you, meaning you decide what groups of customers you want to put up here. See this big word that says groups? I literally click a plus and I can put in more groups this way, or I can create groups right over here in my filters. So I can be in my all customers groups and I can say, I want to see every customer that is a credit hold. And instantly now I have my 2 credit hold customers. I can literally say save records as group, and I can say credit hold. And now I'm going to clear out this filter and go to my credit hold. And now instantly I know our 2 credit hold customers. And that group will stay in my system, and any future credit hold customer will automatically appear here. If one of these come off credit hold, they'll also then disappear. So this is a dynamic group, as are all of these groups up here, that ultimately complete themselves or remove from the group based on whatever conditions we set. So let's then jump into an actual account. This is the list view. This is now our detail view. And so we get the whole summary of the account at the top. It's going to give me the sort of core information that I need to know about the account itself. You see, we have parents. So we have the parent-child relationship as well. So if you sell in that way, as you can see, I'm in Abbott Manufacturing, but it's actually part of Worldwide. And so I can literally now see all those connections, and I can jump around as need be, and I can see what ops, what quotes, what sales orders, what activities are happening with all of my parent-child relationships quickly and easily with just a couple of clicks. Again, I have my own KPI window for all of my accounts. You decide what KPIs you want to see. So again, you control it, you set it, it's your world. But then I have under here all of my other options as far as my navigation goes. So I decide where I want things to be. As I see, I'm kind of moving these around. I can decide what I want, what I don't want. And I have all of these options under more tabs. I can literally bring those up and drop them in here if I want more things of my navigation, or the inverse, if I want to take something out and put it down here. The great thing about it too is, don't forget, we are full ERP integrated. So what does that mean? So as I look over at the things like accounting summary, I now get a full window into SyteLine CSI visual, right? I'm going to see their ID. I'm going to see their terms, ARs, year-to-date sales, previous year-to-date sales. Are they trending up or down? Last order date, last ship date. Again, all types of ERP data. Product purchase history. What is that exactly? Well, that's going to be so that anything that they bought, whatever that is, quantities, dates, maybe price they paid per unit, whatever that might be, all of that, I'm going to find that here as well. Instantly, I'm going to find all of the sales orders, all of our quotes, all of the opportunities. So very, very easy for me, again, to find everything I need to know about this customer all in one place. All the service tickets that we have been working on, sort by the most recent dates. And so I can easily get a preview, of what those things are. And so what is it? Okay, customer bought something here. What happened? What's going on with this? Any of these I need to click into, I can then dive deeper as well. Any of my future activities with this account, I'm going to find right here. Anything in the past, I'm going to find right here. We also have built-in workflows. So I can, as you can see, this says credit request. I literally can go over here and choose start CRM workflow, have whatever workflows I need to have already been pre-built, and just launch them, and they will immediately run for me behind the scenes. Again, if it's a credit approval, it's going to notify a couple of people that are involved in this process to get that going. Speaking of process, we also have built in what we call a journey. What is that? Well, you see we have like a new customer journey, a welcome, an engineer customer journey, a new dealer welcome. These are sort of project-like-ish journeys that allow you to set up a step and a stages where the team user literally just checks a box to make things happen and notify other people, set up meetings, get proposals approved, whatever that might be. You decide what that is for you. We don't code this. This is built right into our system. Again, if you have engineers involved, right? Because many of you, I know many manufacturers, you're really kind of building custom every time. So a lot of times there's going to be engineering involved, right? So we have a whole engineering process that say we want to make sure that you have visibility into what's going on with that whole stage and steps, especially if the engineering firm isn't in-house. Or again, you're just welcoming a new dealer, distributor to your world, and there's some steps and stages that you want to make sure are followed every single time, even if it's not a new employee. Again, whatever you want, you set up the journeys to do. These are all just ways to improve your world and make your job better. Whether you're in sales or support, you're in management, really makes no difference. You could have 10 journeys, you could have 2. It's completely up to you. All of the contacts for the account are going to be found here. And so again, I can obviously go right into them. And then also from here as well, if you noticed, I'm part of a group. So again, as I simply just change over here, I can go through whatever else I need to work. We have a powerful speed search built in. As you can see, I can choose to search the whole system, or I can obviously just search certain things, like account only. We also have a full AI-enabled search, which I'm going to show you in a few minutes. So there are multiple ways that you're going to be able to find your data, but nine times out of 10, if you're really just creating your groups of customers, like you see again up top, like I was showing you previously, this really makes it pretty easy and pretty straightforward for you to be able to find whichever ones you're looking for, because you probably know which group they're already going to reside. Quick pause. Any questions come in?
We have one question from Brian. Do the workflows use the Infor Ion workflows, or does CRM have its own engine?
CRM has its own engine. So your workflows are actually going to live right over here. I have a section called CRM workflows, and that's where all of this is going to be found. There's also a secondary part to it under the integration, but they all are built inside the CRM and it comes with it. So no extra cost.
We don't have any other question for now.
Okay, that's great, no problem. So one of the things I wanted to jump into, I know why everybody's excited to be here, is of course, what are the new AI features? Well, you've seen we have all these new KPI windows. That's a big part of the new updated interface of version 10. And they can look as broad as this. And opportunities, I literally have 2 rows deep of different KPIs. And again, you set these up, you decide how they want to work. Here there are examples in quotes. Here there are examples in my sales orders. But what do you get also with the new AI features? So this is how it works, and this is what you can expect. So previously, you obviously would analyze your own accounts. You would be able to make decisions on, of course, the involvement with those people, what's going on, and of course, you're still going to be able to do that. Plus, with the addition of all of our extra KPI windows, that's going to also improve upon your ability to work the accounts. Further than that, we now have a full AI summary. So now every account has AI summary. And so this allows you to take advantage of the AI summary and go, okay, hey, AI, what's going on with my account? I get engagement level, I get a sentiment result. It tells me about the customer. It gives me a whole bunch of action items, general information, and then all of the action items, I can decide what I want to do. Oh, okay, well, you know what? I probably really should call this guy. So again, I can decide instantly what are the things that I want to act on, but the AI is also going to give me what it suggests that I should do. And so all of this is built in right to Infor CRM. So I can go jump right to this ticket because I need to deal with this because I know this was a hot item. So the AI summary, again, applies to every single account, and it is literally just a tab. So you simply choose your tab, AI is going to run, takes it, usually about 20 seconds-ish for that summary to complete. And then you can then decide from that summary, what things you want to do, how you want to act upon it. Makes no difference, again, whether you're a support, you're in sales, or simply just in management overseeing the entire company. It's going to give you the full result of the whole company and the suggestions, of course, on, ultimately what you should do, what actions you should take. And then, of course, again, it's going to be the same as you saw before. And in addition to that, if you notice back over here, how these little funky looking sort of triangle angles, that is going to launch my AI assistant. So now I can literally ask it anything I want. And this was my first question I did this morning. And I said to it, hey, show my open ops for added. And there it is. So not only do I get those results, but I can click and go right to them and start working it. So I can have these groups built, which we're going to do with more, but I can also use the AI to help show me things and tell me stuff. Same time, previous questions that I've asked, I can also have saved, and it'll essentially let me just keep going down and down and down. Just like if you're using, Claude or ChatGPT or again, whatever maybe your favorite AI tool option is, I can literally now just go through, keep asking the assistant as many questions as I want. Not only is it going to be looking at CRM, remember, we have ERP integrated data as well. So that's the huge, huge win for you because you're ultimately going to be viewing two databases in one fell swoop. And right now, based on my user, I have no activities scheduled for today. Quick pause on some of the AI. Any questions coming in on that? I know this AI is going to usually be a pretty big hot topic.
I received a question, Brian. Do the AI features have a backend component like Gemini or Cloud?
They do. So that's what also makes this very, very powerful is that under our integration section, you actually decide, we give you some choices, but you're going to decide which of some of the main AI providers you want to use ultimately sort of power the backend for the AI piece. So that's ultimately how the whole thing works. So Infor has set up how it will work internally inside the CRM itself. And then ultimately the results are powered by working in conjunction with one of those AI providers. Any other questions?
Thank you. No, I'm currently. Oh, so one question from Paul.
Yep.
How can it work with Copilot and the Office suite?
So same kind of process. So Copilot, again, another option. It works really the same manner as far as asking, the process is very much the same as way Copilot runs. The only, difference is that, again, this is going to be running inside CRM. We can't have the CRM run inside, ultimately, your Copilot system. But as far as the Office suite goes, we do have integrations where it directly will connect to Outlook, your calendar. So there are points where those two things do touch, but Copilot in and of itself is not going to be looking at the CRM. So that hopefully that makes sense to your question. All right, let's jump over to opportunities. So again, as you saw briefly before, you get full KPI windows of all of your ops. Again, just like the other sections, you have all of your main groups. So whatever you want to look at, you can literally have those groups already pre-built, pre-designed. You're just going to pull them up and look at them as need be. Again, if I'm looking at ops just for a particular customer, again, all of that's going to be found here. However you want to view them, however you want to filter them, also is up to you. Again, filters on the right. So again, if I'm looking at all of my ops and I just want to see who do I have at decision stage, literally one click, I've just filtered it down, and here is my results. I can see all of my KPI data. I can go down here and actually see those ops themselves. So very, very easy for me to view it. Again, I can then clear off those filters. It goes back to everything being unfiltered. And then connected to ops, which you're going to see in a minute, are also quotes and sales orders. So again, you don't have to quote in CRM. You can. We recommend it because it's very easy for those quotes to ultimately be pushed right into ERP. And I'll show you how that works in just a second. But here's all of my quotes. Again, I have my KPIs. I can see all of what those quotes are. My sales orders are typically going to be from ERP. And so they're going to really be a SyteLine sales order, but I can actually create a sales order in CRM and then send it right over to ERP. And so I'll show you what that looks like in just a minute. And again, all of my sales orders, I can sort, filter, view them however I need to. Same thing with anything that's on back order. Again, we saw those in the dashboards. We can, of course, also then see all of that here as well. So remember, multiple places to find all of that data. And so as I go back to my accounts, I can also do things like I can choose my recently viewed. That's another way I can easily jump around. So again, it makes things much easier for me. And so once I'm ultimately in my accounts here, I can go to any of my quotes. And if I want to take a quote and I want to ultimately convert it into a sales order, promote it into ERP, it's very easy process for me to do that. Here is a quote. Again, I can just whatever data I need to. All of my products, remember, pull from ERP, so there's no double entry. If I have additional ERP information like, sold tos or billed tos or shipped tos, again, we're not actually connected to a SyteLine system, so I don't have that actually to show, but that's where all of that would be found. And then from here, very easy to convert things. If you notice right down here, I literally say convert to sales order. It now converts this. I leave quotes, I go into sales order. And now if this was ready to be signed and sent out the door, essentially, all I have to do is click promote. Now, again, I'm not actually connected to a SyteLine system, so I can't actually promote, but that's how easy it is for in CRM to now send all of this over right into SyteLine, and then SyteLine or Visual, again, will send this back to CRM, because remember, we have bi-directional data. And what happens is that prefix changes. I think it goes to XTI or something similar to that. That's going to become the SyteLine prefix. And that's how you know, of course, it is now changed from CRM to ERP. And now, of course, what you see in the system. And again, what you're going to see under your account is going to be ultimately that SyteLine or CSI or visual sales order living inside CRM. Because again, full bi-directional integration. All the data that we're seeing from both systems, all of this again pulling in here. And remember, roles and permissions again. So again, if you're not allowed to see something, your user isn't going to be able to see that. Furthermore, from an additional benefit that you also get from a forecasting standpoint, is we have a full section called forecasting pipeline. You notice pipeline by account manager. I can literally also see every single person, 0 to 30, 31 to 60, 61 plus, total numbers, and exactly what they are. So again, even if these are dealers, distributors, same thing. They're all going to be here. By products, right? Whatever the products are, right? All of that broken down again. So you can really get an understanding of how everything is broken down, where it lives, where it stands. And within seconds, you're going to know the whole road and the status of the whole system just by a couple of lookups. Another quick pause. Any questions come in, Con?
No, not yet.
Okay. So leads, this is where, again, I mentioned at the very beginning, we have accounts, we have contacts, we have leads. Leads are typically unqualified. And if you notice, they can come in from all different places, trade shows, right? Webinars, Meta, Facebook, LinkedIn, website forums, e-commerce, Zoom info imports, right? Leads that are, for dealers only, right? So let's say you provide your dealers leads, but you actually generate them. So again, all of this is going to be the leads section. Again, they're unqualified, and that's on purpose so that you can then qualify them, so that you're going to go through the process of working these leads. You're still going to have notes and history and attachments and marketing campaigns sent to them. You're still going to log everything that matters. You can qualify them. You're still going to have journey options as well. So I have a very basic BANT journey set up, budget authority need timeline. Again, you can have as detailed processes as you want. And the great thing about it is once this is actually ready for, let's say, quote, or whatever your process is for actually getting them converted, I can come into the system. I can say, hey, first, I want to make sure we don't duplicate any data. So, hey, what do we got? Oh, company image. Oh, look at this. I already have a match on that. So I would just add my contact instead of just convert them automatically. I can also then create an opportunity right after I convert them. So it's very, very easy for me to basically get all of my lead data, convert it into account contact, and not duplicate any of that data along the process. And then once that lead, of course, again, leaves the lead system, they go into your accounts and contacts for the rest of your team to work. And then, of course, all the other things that are in this section are going to be there as part of that. In addition to that, built in, we have a whole marketing section where you can manage all of your campaigns. So trade shows that you attend, social media campaigns, email campaigns, direct mail, whatever it is, right? You have a section now where all of that campaign data can come into the system. So the whole team can access it, find it, see it, work it, make sure everything is updated as properly. Again, see what opportunities have arisen because of that campaign. See what products obviously were actually promoted. Just basically have everybody be on one page so that it's really clear what it is that was the focus of this whole event. So it was a conference, what the key attributes were, and what opportunities actually came about as a result of the conference itself, future meetings or any notes in history, full budgets. So again, I can track all the numbers. We know there were costs involved. We know we got a lot of responses back. We know we got some opportunities. So again, all this data also updates in real time. So if we get more responses and we get more opportunities, all of this will change all by itself. You can have full stages and tasks involved in here as well. Of course, the people that you promoted to, right? So this was a trade show. Maybe you had a pre-list that you marketed to, and you have a list after that. All of that's going to be found here and be able to be worked. So again, you can now keep track of all of your campaigns. And then what makes it super effective too is that this is my production system. We have a full marketing add-on, Content Box Guru. And again, this marketing add-on gives you full marketing automation capabilities, but even better, every campaign that it creates also will send right into the marketing section of Infor CRM all by itself. So it's built and they talk to each other. This uses all the real-time data in the CRM as well. So again, today's webinar isn't about the marketing features. That'll be something down the road because we'll need plenty of time to dive into that. But this is available today, ready to go. It works natively inside Infor CRM. And again, has a full feature and plethora of tools available at your disposal. All right, quick breather. Any other questions? Come in, Con.
Paul is asking, can you unqualify a contact to have them as a lead?
Yes, but typically what we would do in that case, and I'll show you an example, is all of the contacts are going to have their own statuses. So here are contacts that have been promoted from a lead. And so inside here, you see where I have a status. I could have an unqualified status, right? You see all these right now. Completely whatever works best for you. But we wouldn't demote them, let's say, back to a lead. We would basically have sort of a status change so that if you want to then have them go into a future sort of drip marketing campaign, great. That can easily be set up by anybody that has a status that becomes, say, inactive, goes into my inactive accounts marketing campaign or unqualified, whatever that might be. But that's really the way that we would advise you best to work them. They can also be turned off so that users can't see them anymore. So every contact, again, has a visibility feature. And so where you see this inactive option, if I mark them as inactive, remember, I'm administrator, so I can do everything. Your other users would not be able to say choose inactive. If I save John as inactive, the standard user that logs in will no longer even see John. So again, there's many levels that we can use to control that visibility, as well as how we want to maybe market to in the future. Anything else?
We don't have any more question, but it's a general question we receive about module. So can you also talk about the setup time frame for Infor CRM, just to have a general idea for our audience?
Yeah, sure. So typically, implementation is roughly about a 3 to 4 month process. In general, can be a little bit longer. Rarely is it much shorter. So it's obviously much faster than, of course, typical ERP setup because there's a lot more, bells and whistles usually involved with ERP. But CRM, again, is typically about that process to sort of plan for. Again, we'll work with ESS from the integration side. So this is going to be a team effort. While we do the bulk of the work, there's definitely still a part that they're involved with us really in the beginning to make sure, again, all of those pieces are connected so that the bonds from, SyteLine, again, flow correctly into ERP. Because again, we're going to sit down with your team, figure out, what you want to see, where you want to see it. Because again, you're not focused, say, from the accounting summary to only see this data, right? This is just a starting point. So you can envision what it could be. We're going to sit down with you and say, hey, this is a starting point. Do you want all this? Okay, yes, but then you also want these 5 other things to flow in. So that's how we have, once we get that all figured out. Is that it?
I think so. I don't see any more question. Let me check one more time.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we don't have any other question.
Okay, so let me jump into mobile since we're almost out of time. This is obviously another fan favorite. This is the mobile version of Infor CRM. Just like before, we have our list view, we have our detail view. So this is my list view. Obviously, I can, of course, search for people as well. I can look things up. When I go to any account, directly, I'm going to get the detail view where I'm going to get all the specifics about the account itself. And so this is where, again, remember, if you're on the road, you're at a trade show, again, if you're a customer service rep, and again, anybody that you need to see this information outside the office, full visibility. All these things are built in, schedule things, adding notes, using our check-in add-on, which you're going to see in a second, putting in quotes and orders, adding another ticket. Again, whatever dashboards it is that ultimately you want to see, we will set up, for your system. So again, that's all going to depend on, what dashboards, again, matter to you. All of our CRM activities, right? So again, everything you've already seen, activities and contacts and ops and tickets, all that's going to be right here. Super easy to find. And then, of course, ERP. You can't do this today, but now you can. You can see all that ERP data right in the palm of your hand and pull this up. So before I go to meet with somebody, I want to check on a quote. There you go. It's right there. Now, of course, these quotes can also be in CRM as well. And remember, you're not going to duplicate. There's no duplication of data. It's sharing of data. So let's say I'm going to go have a meeting. And so I want to do a trip report, after I've done my meeting. I literally now can I met with Brian, and we can use our add-on that we call check-in. And check-in is just a preset of questions and drop-downs that your admin sets up. We don't code this, we teach you how to do it. You choose the questions that matter to you. Use voice to text to enter things. Others can be voice. You can have drop-downs. So again, a lot of ways to easily update data. Remember, you're just using your fingers, you're using your voice, whatever ones matter to you. My whole trip summary, whatever it is that you need to answer, you're going to let your team choose the ones that matter to them. I can even schedule a follow-up, literally click save, and it's that easy. Now go back to my account. All I got to do is just refresh it or just click save again, go to my notes and history, and I'll be able to see literally what I just completed right here on 318. All right, we're about out of time. Any other questions that have come in?
Ryan is asking if we have development experience, can we modify add forms to CRM?
100%. So when we train you, we're going to have admin training and we're going to have standard user training. So your admin people, you have a developer, 100% will be on that admin training. You have the ability to do anything you want to enforce CRM. It is yours. We will show you the way. If you have the understanding of SQL and anything that, again, you want to jump in and do, totally have at it. We will support you however you want us to support you, but we will also not hold you back in any way. Any other questions?
No, we don't have any other questions.
Okay. Well, then that's going to do it for today's webinar. We are literally just a couple minutes before we got to close. If there's no other questions, thank you all very much for your time. Please reach out to ESS and let them know if you would like to talk to us further. We highly recommend you do a sort of personal demo because we would really tailor it towards your needs. And that's where you really get to get a better feel for, how well it'll help address whatever issues you're dealing with. And again, thank you so much for your time. And Con, you're good. I hope everybody has a great day.
Oh, thank you, Brian. And before we close, I also want to repeat an announcement here. You may see an email about Infor AI Roadshow recently. I just wanted to repeat this in this webinar as well. Following last year's successful roadshow, we are bringing the conversation back, and this time we are actually planning to introduce something new, and we will explore the next evolution of the Infor platform, which is industry AI agents. And in this roadshow, SyncSite is one of the sponsor. And we will be in Edmonton on May 12th and Calgary on May 13th and Vancouver on May 14th. And also our team is about to secure a date and a location for Winnipeg. So be prepared to hear the new location and more news. Yeah, and thank you so much, Brian, for the presentation. And if you have any questions about Infor CRM SLX, or if you request a demo, don't hesitate to contact with us. Sherry, our customer success manager, is very responsive, and she would be glad to help you. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, and have a great day.
Take care, buddy.